Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aris bin Abdul Latif, and I will be presenting the very first part of Payrollpanda. 1.1. Create a company in Payrollpanda. Make sure company details are filled. First, go to the company information page under Settings and enter the company details, statutory information, and bank details. Once all the required information has been completed, click Save to finish the company setup. For locations, go to the Locations tab and click Add. Enter the branch name and the complete address for each outlet. If the company has multiple branches, repeat the same steps until all locations are added. This helps assign employees to the respective workplace. For schedules, go to the Schedules tab and click Add to create work schedule. Enter the schedule name and select the working days, and set the daily working hours. Then, save the schedule. You can create different schedules for different groups of employees, such as office staff and cafe staff. A work schedule is created to define employees' working days and hours. It also supports accurate payroll calculation. For department, go to the Departments tab and click Department to add a new department. Simply enter the department name and save it. Repeat the process for all departments in the company, such as CEO, managers, head of department, executive, and cafe staff. This makes it easier to organize employees based on their department. Moving to B, create a payroll cycle and explain why you chose those settings. Go to the payroll settings and select payroll cycle. Click Add. Enter the payroll cycle name, set the cycle end date and payroll month, then click Save. As the reason why we chose those settings is because a monthly payroll cycle with the last day of the month as the cutoff was chosen to ensure all attendance, overtime, leave, and allowances are included before payroll is processed accurately and consistently. And C. Create three types of payroll policies and explain the differences or reasonings why a company might use those types of policies. First, go to Payroll Settings and select Payroll Policies. Click Add. Choose the payroll policy type, enter the policy name, and configure the payroll settings such as salary proration, overtime base rate, unpaid leave, and leave pay. Finally, click Save to create the payroll policy. For example, HQ staff. We got salary proration, calendar days, overtime base rate on working days, unpaid leave on calendar days, and leave pay of fixed days of 26. This payroll policy is designed for administrative and management employees with fixed monthly salaries. Salary proration and unpaid leave are calculated using calendar days. Overtime is based on working days, and leave pay uses fixed days of 26 to ensure consistent and fair payroll calculations. This payroll policy is created for administrative and office employees with fixed monthly salaries and standard working hours. Next example, cafe staff. Salary proration of working days, overtime base rate of working days, unpaid leave working days, and leave pay working days. This payroll policy is designed for full-time cafe staff working on rotating shifts. All payroll calculation, including salary proration, overtime, and unpaid leave and leave pay, are based on working days to accurately reflect employees' actual work schedules. This payroll policy is designed for full-time cafe employees who work on rotating shifts and require payroll calculation based on their working days. And then we got internship, salary progression on working days, overtime base rate fixed days of 26, unpaid leave working days, and also leave pay working days. This payroll policy is designed for interns receiving a fixed monthly allowance. Salary progression, unpaid leave, and leave pay are based on working days, while overtime is calculated using fixed days 26 to ensure simple and consistent payroll calculations. This payroll policy is created for interns receiving a fixed monthly allowance with payroll calculated based on the scheduled working days. And lastly, daily. Salary proration, overtime base rate of 8 hours, unpaid leave, and leave pay. This policy is designed for daily rated employees. Overtime is calculated after 8 working hours, while salary proration, unpaid leave, and leave pay are generally not applicable as employees are paid only for the days they work. This payroll policy is created for daily rated employees who are paid based on the number of days they work, making it suitable for temporary or part-time workers.
Hi, my name is Nurhurin Huda. I will continue with the next step, which is adding a minimum of 10 employees into Payrollpanda. Our company consists of 21 employees with different job positions. Most employees are paid monthly, while part-time employees are paid either hourly or daily. We have included employees with and without EIS eligibility. Employees without EIS include those aged 60 and above, foreign workers, and interns. In addition, our records include both Malaysian PR and non-PR employees. Lastly, archive employees represent those who have resigned, passed away, or relocated to another country. To add an employee, go to the Employees tab and click Employee. Enter the required personnel and employment details, then repeat the process until all employees have been added. Once completed, the employee records will be ready for payroll processing. Next, how to manually add employees. Go to the Employees tab and click Plus Employee. Enter the required personnel and employment information, then click Save. Repeat the same process to manually add the remaining employee. Since adding employees manually is time-consuming, Payrollpanda provides a bulk upload feature to import multiple records quickly and efficiently. Go to the Employees tab and select Bulk Upload. Download the employee template, complete the required details, then upload the completed file in CSV and click Next or Save to import all employees into the system. This method is faster and more efficient for adding multiple employees. Next, add a new employee and include the required information from their previous employer. Download the TP3 form from the Employees Payroll tab. Have it completed and submit it to LHDN to notify them of the new employee. Then, enter the previous employment details in Payrollpanda and import them using the CSV file for bulk upload. Finally, save the details to ensure accurate PCB calculations. This process is only required for employees who have worked for another employer in the same year. If an employee leaves the company due to death, the employer must archive the employee's record and download the CP22A form. To do this, open the employee profiles, go to the Forms tab and download the CP22A form. The completed form should be submitted to LHDN when required, while the employee's record remain archived in Payrollpanda for future reference. If an employee is leaving the company due to leave Malaysia permanently, the employer must download the CP21 form and submit it to LHDN. To do this, archive the employee's record, open the employee's profile, and go to the Forms tab to download the CP21 form. The form must be submitted to LHDN at least 30 days before the employee leaves Malaysia. The employee's record will remain archived in Payrollpanda for future payroll and tax reference.
So now, we move to the process of running payroll for a particular month from start to finish. The process is go to the payroll tab and select the payroll month, click payroll, review the payroll details, then click continue and approve the payroll to finalize the payroll. And then, once approved, payslips, statutory files, and bank files can be generated. After the payroll is approved, open the process payroll month and go to bank files. Click download to generate the bank payment file for salary transfer. For statutory files, go to statutory files and click download to generate the EPF, so EIS, HRDF, and PCB files for statutory submission. And then for payslips, go to payslips and click download payslips to generate individual employee payslips showing salary, deductions, statutory contributions, and net pay. And then add different payroll items for at least one employee in a payroll run. Before that, different payroll items are standard payroll components such as allowances, bonuses, overtime, and deductions. To add them, open the payroll run, select an employee, click select an item, choose the payroll item, enter the required details, and click save. The item will be included in the employee's payroll calculation. So now, the differences between adding payroll items in Employee tab and in Payroll tab. Adding payroll items in the Employee tab used to assign recurring payroll items to a specific employee with a fixed amount every month. Meanwhile, Adding payroll items in the payroll tab is used to add one-time payroll items for the current payroll period only. You can select multiple employees at the same time. The amount entered can be different for each employee and may vary from month to month, depending on the payroll requirement. And then, now custom a payroll item for at least one employee. The process is go to payroll settings and click payroll items. Enter the required information and click save. Once saved, the payroll item will be labeled as custom. Next, go to the payroll tab, search for the employee's name and add the newly created custom payroll item under additional payroll items. Enter the required amount and the item will be included in the employee's payroll calculation for the selected payroll period. And then now include a payroll summary report for at least 3 consecutive months. The process is go to the payroll tab, click the payroll file and download the payslip summary. Select May and download the report, then repeat the same steps for June and July. Generate a separate payslip summary report for each of the 3 selected months. Click the Reports tab, select the required date range and then click Download to generate the report. The downloaded reports will include the lump sum report for May, June and July. And then show a field YTD data of at least one employee with past dates field. This is the YTD data. The YTD year-to-date data feature is intended for companies that have recently started using the payroll system during the current tax year. For example, if Palato Cafe began using the system in February 2026, the payroll information for January 2026 must be entered into the YTD data section. This to ensure that statutory calculations and reports, including PCB month-to-date, EA forms, and E-forms, accurately reflect the employee's payroll information for the entire year.
Next up is create Gmail organization. First is to sign up. We create a Gmail account using the company email address and password. Next step is to enter the organization details such as company name, industry, and number of employee and time zone. And the last step is to click Save the setting. Creating a Gmail organization establishes a centralized workspace for managing employee attendance, work schedule, time tracking, and payroll integration. Now is add user to Gmail. Gmail automatically sync employee information with Payrollpanda. This reduces manual data entry and ensure accurate payroll processing. The first step is to go to Payrollpanda, click integration and click on Gmail. Now from Payrollpanda, go to employee and click plus add to Gmail. Lastly, click confirm. Now let's move on to time tracking rule. First, I will explain how to activate required face recognition. First, go to Gmail time tracking. Next is tick the required verification by face recognition. And lastly, click save. This function can make sure that real employees are clocked in and make attendance more reliable and reduce attendance frauds. Next, let's go to location per time entry function. First, go to Gmail time tracking. Next, tick require location with time entry and enable geofencing. And lastly, click save. This can help verify that employees are at the correct work location when recording their attendance and improve attendance accuracy and transparency. Next, I will explain how to activate required screenshot of their work when clocked in. First, go to Gmail time tracking. Next, tick require screenshot capturing, and lastly, click save. This function will capture a screenshot during work hour and can verify employees that are actively working.
Now we are setting up our leave management system for our Palato Cafe. Let's start by adding our regional calendar. There are the pop-up of add new calendar. We name this one and keep import from the calendar checkers. We need to select the Malaysia as a country and choose regions. And after that, we need to hit the button orange save. You will then repeat the exactly step to create a second calendar. Now we need to assign this calendar to the right people. Firstly, we need to click to go to people setting hyperlinks. Find the specific team members working and then check the box next to their name. And in the action panel, click assign holiday calendar. Then we need to select the calendar and click save. After that, follow the same step for our space team member. When we head back to the holiday dashboard, we see both of regionals calendar are active and correctly track their respective team members. For the annual leave policy, annual leave is configured as a pay entitlement track in a day with a no accurate because it represents a statutory right under the Section 60E of the Malaysia Employee Act 1955 that mandates full salary payments of a safeguard employee welfare while tracking it a full day block seamlessly, accommodate longer family vacations and simplify long-term cafe shift scheduling. By selecting meal accruals, Palato Cafe grants the total year leave quota approved as a lump sum on day 1. For the medical leave policy, medical leave is a pay policy tracked in hour with no accruals because it is a legal protected right that prevents wage deductions during the sickness, while tracking in hour giving the cafe operational flexible to let a barista take a brief clinic visit and return to their shift without losing a whole day balance. And skipping accrual ensures this vital medical safety net is fully available on day 1. For the hospitalizations leave policy, hospitalizations leave is configured as a pay entitlement tracking in the date that vested annually on a January 1 because of Section 60F of the Malaysian Employment Act strictly mandates full salary coverage up to 60 days per year to protect the employee from losing their livelihoods during the severe medical crisis or major surgeries. While tracking is in day alike perfectly with the industrial standards and hospitalizations medical certifications, since the inpatients ward admissions involved overnight long-term recovery rather than brief hourly checkup. Furthermore, by automating the resets on January 1, the system seamlessly applies the use it or lose it. Lastly, for the unpaid leave policy, unpaid leave is an unpaid policy tracked in hour with no accrual because it acts as a humanly granted safety net once all paid leave are exhausted while protecting the cafe labor costs, utilizing our tracking to ensure the payroll can deduct the exact amount of the missing shift work without the unfairly docking a full day pay and having no accrual since it carries no automatic balance.
Now, I will explain how to sync employees from Payrollpanda to Jibble. Go to Payrollpanda, click Integration, and click on Jibble. Now, from Payrollpanda, go to Employee and click Plus Add to Jibble. Lastly, click Confirm. Next, I will show in one payroll overtime coming in from Jibble. First, you go to Jibble timesheet and click on Create New Entry on a person that did overtime. Next, fill in the hour entry and click Save. Now, go to Payrollpanda and go to Run Payroll tab and click on Sync Payroll. Now, you can view overtime. The overtime hours imported from Jibble will appear and be included in the payroll calculation. Now, I will show how unpaid leave was taken. First, you go to Jibble and click Time Off tab and click on Add Time Off. Next is to select the employee and fill in the detail and click Save. After that, click on the green tick button to approve the time off request. Now, go to Payrollpanda and go to Run Payroll tab and click on Sync Payroll Data. Now, you can view the unpaid leave. The unpaid leave imported from Jibble will appear and be included in the payroll calculation. Now, I will show that leave was taken. Go to Jibble and click Time Off tab. Next, click on the day that the leave was taken. Now the system will show that the employee have taken their leave on that day. Lastly, I will show how an employee can view their payslip. First, the employee can go to Jibble and click on your account setting. Then the next step is to click on the View Payslip and the payslip will be appear. That's all from us. Thank you.